Carl here from Brrraaains Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's horror movie review time. Written by Tom DeVille and directed by William Brent Bell, Lord of Misrule reimagines the 16th century British folklore Christmas tradition as something far more sinister, taking most of its cues from folk horror that came before. The end result is a tepid experience that is way too long and ends in wholly unsatisfying circumstances.
I don't know where Grace has got to.
Grace!
Grace! Grace.
Tuppence Middleton plays Rebecca Holland, a vicar who has recently moved to a small and charming village somewhere in the north of England. Alongside her husband Henry, played by Matt Stokey, and young daughter Grace, played by Evie Templeton, they have worked hard to become part of the community, even if Christianity isn't a hot subject there. Though they seem to have been accepted, as Grace is to be the star of a yearly tradition, the Harvest Festival. One that involves merriment all round, includes light paganistic elements such as the Lord of Misrule driving off the demon Galagog. It's all fun and games until Grace disappears and nobody can find her. With the police dragging their heels, the townspeople more interested in vigils for Grace than helping, and a husband trying to keep things calm, sometimes frustratingly so, as if anybody could be calm in this situation, Rebecca starts to discover dark secrets about this small village. One in particular pertains to another missing child that was never found, and that child's father, Jocelyn Abney, played by Ralph Ineson, has some sinister suspects. The more Rebecca digs, the more she looks around, the more she unearths, and the more terrifying things become for her. The fate of her entire family is at stake.
Please do the job.
They'll have you chiddle her back in no time.
My daughter went missing.
Your lord does not have your child.
Then who has taken my daughter?
Every year we drive him out. But he stands in the fields and waits.
Who stands in the fields and waits?
Grace. The demon didn't take Grace. These people are sick.
Are you afraid, Rickard? He's here.
Something that you will know constantly throughout, because Lord of Misrule thinks you and me, we're stupid. So spells everything out to such a degree it is frustrating. Yet what really makes its egregious storytelling so much worse is the fact that the main character of Rebecca struggles to put it all together right up to the very end. Most, if not all, viewers will know where this film is going by the halfway point. Yet it drags its heels to the point of absurdity, something that removes all tension and intrigue too. Although, to be fair, it doesn't have much of either anyway. How can you feel tense when you can spot every single direction it is going in? How can you feel intrigued when everything is spelled out for you? As for scares, it amounts to nothing but bad jump scares and constant folk horror imagery, locks of hair, creepy pictures, twigs twisted a la Blair Witch to look like symbols. Don't be surprised, because I certainly felt it, if you start to get secondhand embarrassment from the film's desperate attempt to be scary. Perhaps this would have been possible if the movie had an original bone in its body, but it doesn't. Every folk horror before it has done this, and there's no excuse for such a tepid rehash. Good acting and some skill when it comes to cinematography can't make up for the simply gargantuan amount of flaws in this film. Should you drag your way through to the end, and it is a struggle, Lord of Misrule rewards your patience by insulting you with a shockingly poor ending. One that offers no real insight into events, explains little about the future, and, incredibly, feels rushed, which is hilarious when you consider how slow the majority of it is. Lord of Misrule is a bad horror film because it underwhelms in almost every single department. Simply, my advice, forget this one exists. Just go watch a good folk horror film like The Wicker Man or Midsommar. You'll have a much better time. But if you've seen Lord of Misrule, you got any thoughts to share? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.